Hello guys, it is Sam. Welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm doing a video that I feel like is very much overdue. If you don't know, I posted a weight loss video in May of 2023 and that video did amazing. Literally, I did not expect that at all. So first of all, I want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart. The amount of comments and feedback I got on that video were amazing. And if you don't know the video I'm talking about, I will link it down below. But it was basically just me opening up about my weight loss, and in this video I'm going to be opening up about my weight loss again, but kind of answering the questions and the frequent comments I was getting on that video. If there's a lot of background noise, I'm really sorry. I'm in my car right now before work. It's 7 a.m. and there's a lot of traffic, but this is literally the only time I could find right now to film this video when it's quiet and I have time, so please bear with me. Also, I've tried to film this video like 4 times already, and there's a reason why, but I keep getting very emotional in it, so also bear with me with that please too as well. It has been a very hard journey for me, and in that video it may have seemed like it was easy and like it was coming to a close, but that is not what happened, and I'm just being 100% real with you guys. Even though the weight may have stayed pretty steady, the side effects and everything that happened afterwards was very hard for me, and I'm going to talk about that in this video, so if I do get emotional, please bear with me. I'm trying my best, but it's hard sometimes. So the first question I'm going to answer is how I'm doing now. I get questions every single day on that video, and a lot of them are asking how I am now, what happened after that video, and it took a lot for me to be able to kind of explain this because of everything that happened. So I'm gonna go back to when that video was posted. So in May, I was at my 60+ pound weight loss in 3 months, and I was very happy. I was very consistent in the gym, and everything was kind of just going, from what I saw, very well. And before I get any further into this video, I do want to say I'm not certified in what I'm talking about. I'm sharing my story and my story only, and I am not a doctor, so just to put that out there, please keep that in mind while you're watching this video. This is my experience and what happened to me. So like I was saying, I thought everything was going very well. I was very happy, and when August came around, I started noticing some changes within my health, and I don't mean from a weight perspective. I actually mean from things that I saw happening with my body. I saw a lot of my hair starting to fall out. I saw my nails getting very weak. I had bruises all over my skin, and I was also very cold 24/7, and it was weird that this was happening because it was the summertime. It was like 90 degrees outside, and don't get me wrong, when it was 90 degrees outside, I wasn't cold, but it was like air conditioning would bother me more than it would when I was in a healthier state, if that makes sense. But I was so confused on what was happening because I felt fine. I didn't feel unwell other than those particular issues. So I kind of ignored it for a little bit because I thought maybe I was just getting sick with the cold or something like that. And then when a few weeks went by, I started to notice my hair falling out very, very badly. I do have a picture. I'm going to insert it on the screen, and I am doing this just so you guys can visualize what was actually happening. So this is what my hair looked like after one brush. I don't mean after many times of brushing my hair and taking a shower. I mean, I woke up, my hair was dry, and this is what came out of my head. And this was consistently. Now, it may look like I do have a lot of hair now, and don't get me wrong, I do. And I know that it could be so much worse, but just seeing that really took a toll on how I was doing because I didn't know why it was happening, and I didn't know what to do to fix it. And I was also very scared to go find out because I didn't really know how to deal with this because I have never dealt with something like this before. And I want to say that these symptoms lasted for around like 3 months consistently before I saw any little bit of improvement, and it was very hard because at one point I remember brushing my hair and it literally felt so thin, so brittle, and like I lost like almost half my head of hair, and I can like still feel how I was feeling in that moment. And I would talk to my parents all the time, and eventually I was like, okay, you know what, I need to go to a doctor. So I went to the doctor. I got a lot of tests done. They tested me for literally everything, and everything actually came back very good. So it was very confusing to me why this was happening. Then I went back to the doctor and I explained to her what I did over the time span of 2023 from February to May and how fast I lost that weight. If you did not watch that video, this may be a little confusing. Again, I'm not a doctor, but the main reason why I think the weight fell off so easily when I was doing this is also because I do have PCOS. So other than what I already knew I had, I was very confused on what was going on. I also want to say that because of this, I was convinced I had thyroid because it runs in my family. My mom has it, and I was just convinced that this was what I had, and I didn't, but I had a lot of the symptoms symptoms, so I was just very confused. I've had PCOS flare-ups before. I've had my PCOS be completely normal before and not affect me at all. But it has never been to a point where I had so many bruises, I had excessive hair loss, I had so many things going on in my body, and also the symptoms I was having, I did not believe were correlated to my PCOS. So I told my doctor that I was on keto, I told my doctor everything that I was going through, and basically there was no real answer because nothing was showing up in the tests that we did. So from then, I started going on a hair, nails, and skin vitamin, and like I said, it took around 3 months for me to see any type of improvement at all. It's gonna be hard to believe. I'm gonna try to find a picture from before of what my hair looked like, and yeah, it looks fine now because this is a good amount of time after all of this happened because I just wasn't ready to talk about it. But that just really goes to show that you really never know what somebody is going through, and although it may look like a person is okay and completely fine, it doesn't mean that they actually are, and it doesn't mean that just because they posted something, it doesn't mean there wasn't things that came up after, or that there just wasn't things that they didn't speak about in that video or in that post. So before you comment, just please keep that in mind, because reading some of the comments were really hard for me because it was when I was going through this, and don't get me wrong, I appreciate every single one of them, whether it was negative or positive. Most of the comments on that video were positive, but there was just some of them that really hit home to me, especially with what I was going through, and it was hard, but I also wanted to share this part of my life with you guys. I just wasn't ready to at that time, so I hope that is understandable. But I am going to insert a picture of before and a picture of after, and I think the main thing I want to say is although it may be a little better, it is still not great. It's still not where it was, and it's still not where it needs to be. Sure, my hair feels a little fuller, but again, it is not where it used to be, and experiencing it for the first time is very hard, and it was just something that I didn't know how to feel about. I don't know, I would just wake up and cry every single day. It was like a very bad time. I am doing a little better now, so I feel a little more able to share this video. Like I said, I filmed it many times, and I just had to not post it because I was a wreck in the video, and I feel like I'm doing an okay job right now, so we're making progress. I'm gonna move on from that topic because I feel myself about to break down cry, and like I said, I do have to go into my corporate job in like 20 minutes, so don't want that to happen, so I'm gonna move on from that topic. If you do have any other questions about it, I can definitely make a follow-up video, so let me know. The next question I got so much was why I did not say what I did food-wise when I was doing this journey. There's a reason why I said that, and I'm not going to openly say it, but I think it's very obvious of what I was going through. And from my understanding, there's a reason why my hair did start falling out, but I was in a not great place at the time. I don't want that taken the wrong way. I am only talking about my relationship with food in that clip, and let's just say it was not where it needed to be. And that also was another reason why the weight did come off so fast. Again, I am not going to sit here and explain what I did because I don't think I did it in the right way, and I'm not going to promote that, and that's the main reason why I didn't say it. However, again, I will say I did do keto. Personally, I get the question all the time, will I ever do keto again? No, at least not for that long amount of time, and if I ever did, I would make sure that I was on a nutrition plan to the fact that it wouldn't make my body get to where it was even after coming off of keto, because that was the weird thing. In August, I wasn't on keto anymore. I was still watching what I ate, but I wasn't on the diet anymore, and that's actually when my hair started falling out. So that's why it was so confusing to me, because I was like, I'm not even on keto anymore, so how could this be correlated to keto? And again, not a doctor, not certified in what I'm saying, and I don't have any real answer, but what I've come to the conclusion is it did come from what I was doing and how I was eating and everything like that. And again, I've never actually talked about that before, but I did have an issue with it, and it's part of the reason why all of that happened. I did talk about on my channel in some vlogs that I was losing my hair, but I didn't really talk about the real reason why, again, because I wasn't ready, but that is just kind of why I did not explain exactly what I did, and it's because I don't think that I did it in the correct way, and if I ever got to a point where I did have to do it again, I would not do it the way I did it this time around. The last thing I want to talk about is a comment that I say in my videos all the time, and that is the phrase, "You are beautiful just the way you are." I got so many comments on that video saying, and I quote, "Well, if you really believe that, then why did you feel the need to change? Or if you really think you're beautiful, then why did you do this journey?" I just want to say right now, in the most respectful way possible, you can be beautiful and still want to change and still want to do better for yourself. There's also two types of beauties. There's beauty on the inside, which I think is 100% more more needed in this world. And then there's beauty on the outside. I meant it in both ways in that video. You're beautiful on the inside and you're beautiful on the outside. But the comment I was continuously getting just wasn't sitting well with me, because even though I was beautiful before I changed, I didn't feel my best, and that is why I wanted to change. So I'm just putting that out there, that when I do say you're beautiful just the way you are, I really do mean it. And I know a lot of people probably saw that comment because there were so many comments underneath it, and this is not me like coming at the person who said that. That's not what I'm doing at all. I just wanted to clear up what I meant by that comment and how I think that comment should be looked at, because I really do believe that you are beautiful just the way you are, and it's okay to be beautiful and want to do better for yourself. I'm just gonna leave it at that. The very last thing I wanted to talk about is what I'm doing now, how I'm doing now, did I gain any weight back, stuff like that. I am going to talk about numbers here, so if you don't want to watch this part of the video, I suggest you don't. I know that could be a little sensitive for some people, and trust me, it is for me too, but I feel like I do owe a little story to you guys, so I am going to share it. Also, I do want to, because I know how alone one can feel in this journey, because I've been through it before, and I just want to share my story to let you guys know that you're not alone. If you are someone who isn't having the best time with this right now, I want you to know that it is going to be okay, and we are in this together. To answer the question on how I'm doing now, in the fact of did I gain any weight, that's a very personal question, but I did share my story with you guys, so I do completely understand why people would ask that. To be very blunt, it fluctuates. With PCOS and how it reacts to my body in particular, there's always going to be that fluctuation. I talked about water retention in the video I originally posted, which I again will link down below. That is the biggest problem I have, is the amount of water that my body holds, and that's why I say it fluctuates. Honestly, it hasn't fluctuated more than 10 pounds, which I'm very grateful for, because in the video I posted in May, it was fluctuating between like 50 and 70 pounds. So it was so much harder to stay consistent, and it was very hard for me to be in a place where I was okay with actually sharing my story, if that makes sense, just because it was a very emotional time for me. And even though now like there will be like a 10-pound increase or a 10-pound decrease because of the water retention and everything like that, it honestly isn't as bad, and I wouldn't consider it a flare-up. I would just consider it something I have to look into and something I have to figure out how to sustain within my body, if that makes sense. So that's how I'm doing. I'm doing okay. I'm still figuring things out, but I feel like that's what this kind of is. You have to figure it out. There's no guarantee answer, because everyone really is different, and how my body reacts to something can be completely different to how somebody else's body reacts, and I think that is really important to understand. But with that being said, that is how I'm doing. That is a little rundown of me really opening up about this story and kind of just being 100% honest with you guys from what happened since May to now. I will continue to post little updates about this, because this is something I'm going to have a problem with probably my whole life, because PCOS, at least from my knowledge and from when I was diagnosed, there is really no cure for it. There's things that you can do to make it stable, at least from my experience, but again, for me, it's always changing. It's always something I have to figure out, and it is something that is very hard to talk about. So I hope you guys understand, and I want you to know that the main reason I am posting this video is because I want you to know that you are not alone. And in my other videos, I say all the time, it's really about mindset. You really can do anything you set your mind to, but I think that knowing that you are not alone in this situation and that it is going to be okay is something that really helped me. So that is why I'm sharing this with you guys. I hope this video helped in some way to kind of answer your guys' questions that you had based off of that video. I have to go now, so I am going to hopefully get this video up by tomorrow. I'm actually kind of proud, because I only almost started to cry once, so that's a really good accomplishment, because the first couple of videos I made, I was crying like every 2 seconds. So you know what? We did it. I'm proud of myself. Thank you guys again for watching, and if you have any other questions, let me know, and I'll see you really soon in my next video. Bye.